The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings.
In America, they watch you and they track your every move. They're even putting poison in your food. In America, the people are too blind to see the truth. But it's too late, and there's nothing we can do. In America, just watch your favorite show and watch the news, so they can pre-program you with your views. In America, get a job, obey the law, support the troops, and just get back, cause there's nothing we can do. This is the divided states of Illuminati land. People stumbling all over the place like zombies, man. Just like the Walking Dead, they got this country zombified. All your water's fluoridated, all your food is modified. You are what you eat, so I guess that means that you're a GMO. And you don't even know, but you're too blind to see it though. You have to be asleep to have the American dream. Just how they need it, cause your freedom was never a thing. The best kind of slaves are the slaves that don't know that they're slaves. Stuck in a daze and they behave how they're told to behave. Good little sheeple people, always happy, always gleeful. No revolting, no rebelling, no uprising, no upheaval. The ones that rule us wanna keep us all clueless and weak. It's not looking so good for humans, the future is bleak. You think you are unique, but really you're a replica, created by the false education that they gave you here. In America, they watch you and they track your every move. They're even putting poison in your food. In America, the people are too blind to see the truth. But it's too late, and there's nothing we can do. In America, just watch your favorite show and watch the news, so they can pre-program you with your views. In America, get a job, obey the law, support the troops, and just get back, cause there's nothing we can do.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
We are conditioned every minute of every day, and being ignorant is just the American way. The national debt is a debt we can never repay, but if they say to pay your taxes, you better obey. Hypocritical kingdom of wicked criminals, using symbols and signals to fill your head with subliminals. When you watch TV, it's corroding your mind. When the 5G network goes online, there'll be nowhere to hide. Electromagnetic frequencies all around us so frequently. Nothing is what it seems to be. They deceive us so easily. No one even believe in me while they're meeting in secrecy. Have you seen the world recently? Never treating us decently. What happened to liberty and justice for all? Dictators free themselves, but we don't get nothing at all. I just want you to know the truth, so please don't shoot the messenger. It's a bitch, but this is how it is when you live. In America, they watch you and they track your every move. They're even putting poison in your food. In America, the people are too blind to see the truth. But it's too late, and there's nothing we can do. In America, just watch your favorite show and watch the news, so they can pre-program you with your views. In America, get a job, obey the law, support the troops, and just get back, cause there's nothing we can do.
All right, welcome. This is live right now, so if you're not here, you can watch this later. Give me 1 second. All right. Hey, what's up, Sue? It's gonna be a part 2 video. I'll try to finish up my story and explain what happened. And I have some pictures I want to show too, so I'm gonna get into that. Um, It'll probably go for like maybe an hour. See what happens. Um, I'm just having no problems today, but sorry. Oh, I want to start off saying that. So after all this, what that's been going on my back, and the videos that I've been doing, and so this weekend, just 2 days ago, Saturday, I got up. I was feeling all right. I'm still in pain every day, but because I've been going to the chiropractor, it's been getting better over time, over months and months. Um, and I'm gonna get into that later about the chiropractor because I didn't get into that in the first video. So this weekend I got up, was all right, was feeling okay, and then started cleaning, was vacuuming the living room and the stairs. Then like 10 minutes later, I was done already and put it away, and my back just started locking up, and I just like started stiffening up, and I couldn't move. So I was like, all right, let me go lay down and whatever, because this happens a lot. So I'm just like, all right. But I really felt this start tightening up. So I'm like, damn, this is kind of, it was starting to feel like how it was, like last year and the year before when I first got hurt and I was going through all that before. So it kind of felt like that. And then, so like I went to lay down, like half an hour later, um, everything was swollen. My back, my stomach, my ribs, it felt like inflamed and swollen. I'm like, it was exactly how I felt when I first got hurt. And when it was like at its highest, almost pretty much the pain. Um, so yeah, so I was like, shit. So I was just in bed, and when I went to get up and I went to like use the bathroom or get something to drink, I was trying to when I was breathing, like I felt like my rib cage was gonna like explode. So I was like, damn. So and I felt like I could feel the disc in my back just like really like not in the right place. So I already knew like it was the disc, that had came back out, I guess. So anyway, so that was this weekend. So I was in bed all Saturday, the whole day. I couldn't move. I was in pain. So I was like, all right, just in bed. Sunday I was in bed all day. It was a little, you know, it was a little bit better Sunday, but it was still the pain didn't want to go anywhere. So I was like, all right. Today is a little bit better. It's a lot better. Back to how I was almost before this weekend, but so I still need to go to chiropractor. I still need to fix my back. Working on it. Just don't have any money right now to do it. The chiropractor cost me $45 for each visit. I just have like $8 left in my account, so I can't go to the chiropractor. So I just have to wait and figure it out. So all right. So I left off before in the first video with I think it was like I think I was talking about so recap. So I got hurt in 2018 November, and then I was pretty much in bed. I couldn't move for a whole month. Went to the hospital, went to the ER a few times within that month, and they just kept sending me home. Kept telling me there's nothing wrong in the X-rays, and have to see a special doctor and a regular doctor and all that. So I was like, all right, fine. I gave up with the ER at that point. At that point, I had no money, had no help by myself, and I had to survive. Like I'm not gonna just give up. Like I didn't want to give up, so I just said, so I gotta apply for work. I got a job at Walmart in January, 2019. So about a month and a half after I got hurt, and I was in so much pain, but I had no choice, so I did it. So I started in January. By April, I was starting to go to therapy, and it was just getting harder and harder. The pain was actually getting worse at that point because of work. because I was going to work every day with the pain, and the therapy wasn't doing much, so nothing was helping. So the pain was just getting worse, basically. Um, so so yeah, so quit work in June, stayed home again, got broke again, didn't know what to do, and so yeah, and then I'll just skip past that a little bit, and then so I hurt my foot after that, so then that made a lot of things worse. Um, Also, another thing too, while this whole time, while in pain, um, from January to June, every day I got up for work because I worked 40 hours, so I had no choice. But after that, I was in bed pretty much all day because I couldn't move. If I could have stayed in bed for the first 6 months instead of work, I would have, but I had to work. If I could have just like stayed home, did whatever I had to do, stretch, exercise, whatever, therapy. At this point, I didn't know about the chiropractor. So let me see something real quick. I just gotta, I forget. Oh, I started going to chiropractor. Um, Hold up, I think I'm gonna skip it. I think I'm skipping ahead there. Um, so anyway, let me just get my notes real quick. So yeah, if I could have stayed in bed, I would have. Um, every time I got home, I would put my stuff away. I would get home like 10 o'clock, whatever, 11 o'clock. Put my stuff away. I would hit the bed. As soon as I would hit the bed, I could not move to get back up unless it was like the next morning. Then the pain would go down. But the pain was just from work, and I'm sure many people go through it. I'm not the only one. I'm just speaking for myself. So and so it was really bad, and so I couldn't do anything. At work, there was at some points at work, like in April and May of 2019. I would come to work some days and I would be like crawling on the floor, almost like literally crawling on the floor, trying to put stuff away, and just like, I was just in so much pain, and everybody was like, "Are you all right? You all right?" Just like, my back, I hurt my back, and it's just like, I don't know what to do, and it was just, a lot of people were like trying to help me. Um, I got notes here. I'm trying to get it open. Yeah, I couldn't like I would cook like breakfast, like, most days, and then that was it. Like I would get up, cook breakfast, my back would be hurting so much just from breakfast. I would have to lay back down after that, stay in bed for a while, then I'll be able to get back up and do whatever I had to do. But and that was like, I mean, since day one, that was pretty much been the case. But for a few months I had to work, so. And in those months, I couldn't cook. I couldn't cook and do stuff at home and go to work. I just had to order out every day. So that's what I did for work. But again, most people, they love ordering out for work. So it's like for them that's nothing. But me, I don't like doing that, especially now. I'd rather cook my own meals. I just like to eat healthier, and that's what I want to base my whole theme around. Um, So yeah, I couldn't do that. Showering was hard, just laying in bed, I would be in pain. Um, like trying to like, if I had to reach over to get my charger, sometimes I couldn't grab it because of I just couldn't reach over. Things like that, small things like that. Um, I'm sure some people had issues like this before, I'm not the only one. Um, I'm trying to find this note. I don't know why I can't find it. All right, here it is. So I started writing notes down. Um, and damn, it doesn't even say the year. Oh, right here it is. No, that's not it. yeah, I used to get bad headaches from my back, from the spine. It just wouldn't go away. I would have headaches for like hours and hours. Thanks, Sue. I appreciate you. It's good to have someone, around. Appreciate that. Um, yeah, I tried to do some of that delivering, after I hurt my back, but I did like Pizza Hut for like a week or two, and I quit because the pain, and they saw that I was, struggling, I guess, or whatever, and couldn't do the job basically, so they just fired me. But I'll explain that later too, because I got to get into it more. But let me see what I got here. Yeah, couldn't stand up without extreme pain. Had at least 5 jobs while I was hurt and had to leave them all because of my back. On my third job, I was working in. So this is 20. Damn. So 2020. I'll just skip ahead. Let me see. I'll just try to skip ahead. Um, so 2020, COVID happened. It shut everything down. This is where I left off in the first video. So shut everything down. I was working at an office job. They sent us home. They called us back in June. I I went back. Then they told me to put the mask on. I didn't want to put the mask on, so they called me into the office and they was talking to me. They was like, if you don't put the mask on, you're gonna have to leave. And they said if I leave, it's technically me quitting. It's not being fired. But we all know that technically it was against the rules to make us wear the mask to begin with. But they pulled the whole pandemic card, and they said, oh, you have to. It's an emergency, public emergency, whatever, and whatever. So, but I wasn't comfortable doing it. I didn't feel comfortable wearing a mask, and then, and being on the phone at work. I couldn't do it. It didn't feel right. So I ended up walking on. I had to leave because I wasn't putting on the mask and they wasn't going to let me stay. So I had no choice, but I left. So I left. I ended up getting fired, and then they ended up, taking me to court and everything because I tried to appeal it, because the whole unemployment thing, I tried to get unemployment and they said, you can't get it. So that was a whole big thing, and I was just like frustrated because of that. And had I would have known that I could have maybe said no to going back in June, they would have said, okay, just stay home. I don't know, but I had a bad back also, so I told them, like, I don't want to go back because of my back, but I also didn't want to just be home all day either. I didn't know what else to do, so I went back, and that ended up happening. So fast forward. So this is where I left off in the first video. If you didn't watch the first video, I'm pretty sure I left off at like around the summer of 2020. Also in October 2019, I hurt my foot. So my foot was pretty much bad, but my back was even worse and more important at the time, and still is. But so what else was I gonna say? So yeah, so 2020. So now, once again, so they fired me, and then I'm home. I took walks every day. I went for walks every day. I don't know why I can't pull this up. Yeah, I took walks every day in the park, and that was all I did. Besides that, I would, go shopping for some food because I had to eat, and then that was it. Because when I would do these things, when I would go for a walk in the park, when I would go shopping, I was in a lot of pain, like the whole time. Like from the moment I woke up, the pain would hit me and I would just be in pain all day. And then after a few hours, I may like exercise or whatever, or I'll just be in bed because of the pain, do some stretches, but then I'll still be in pain. And then after a few hours, I'll be able to get up, do something else, maybe, like I said, go shopping or whatever, and then come right back home, lay right back down and back in bed because that's how much pain I was in. Like, I can't explain like how much, like exactly what it is, but I actually I have notes. There's a ton of notes here. So yeah, I had tingling, numbness, loss of range of motion, muscle weakness. I literally felt like the lower part, my lower spine, like one of the bones, like one of the L bones. I literally felt it sticking out, and it didn't want to like go back in. So I was dealing with that for a while, and then I finally, after like months, I got that to get, fixed a little bit. It's still not straight, my lower back, but um, I'll get more into that. Uh, so yeah, so in September 2020, around October, September, yeah, September, because it's around my birthday, probably the end of August, 2020. I had a old job I used to work at before I hurt my back. So I ended up going back there for work. I actually quit there in 2018, maybe like 6 months or so before I hurt my back, 6 or 7 months. So I was working at that job before I hurt my back. I quit, started work, did something else, and then eventually hurt my back. But anyway, so I went back 2020. Um, I some people that I knew already, so whatever. So I was working. The manager was new though, and he had he had an issue with the mask. So I didn't want to wear the mask. Once in a while, most of the time I would take it off. Like I wouldn't wear it. Sometimes like he would say, they would say put it on, and I'll put it on and then take it right back off. But anyway, so started working end of August, September. I was in a lot of pain still, but I was just, I was working like only part time. I was doing like 4 hour, maybe 4 hour shifts, 5 hour shifts for like 2 or 3 days a week. I did push it a little bit because I needed the money. I needed to pay rent. So I pushed it, and then this is what led me back to not back, but this is what led me to the chiropractor for the first time ever. So in so September, I'm working, and it's still kind of warm outside, so the cold wasn't really affecting me because the cold affects me more too. So so I'm in a lot of pain. I'm sitting down at work, and you're not really allowed to like sit down that much because it's a lot of moving around, and plus they just don't want to see you do that because it's like it's a job. And I don't like doing that at jobs. I don't like doing it at work. When I'm at work, I like to work. I like to be on my feet. I like to, be active. But anyway, so I was sitting down a lot because I was in pain, and I couldn't do much. There was a lot of heavy stuff at that job, and I couldn't lift it. And I would tell them I couldn't lift it because of the pain. And then, so like I said, after a while, they started. No, I'm sorry, I'm skipping ahead. So October comes, and they asked me to do a job. They was like, "Can you do a reset? Do something, over here in the store to clean it up a little bit." So I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I'll do something else, whatever." So I'm doing it, and then like a week or two later, um, I'm doing the job, and then one morning after like an hour or two of work, I started getting pain in my back. So I'm just like, um, like it was getting worse. So I'm like, all right, let me just try to walk it off or sit down, take a break. So, and mind you, this happened when I was working at Walmart in 2019. This would happen. Um, but I was only there for I was there for 6 months, and um, eventually I just quit because the pain was just too much. So I just quit. But here, so after a month, this is October 2020, and I'm getting pain this one morning, and I'm just like, my back starts locking up. So eventually I'm just like, I can't stay here at work. I have to go home and lay down because my back is hurting too much. My legs was hurting. I got really bad sciatica in my left leg. I forgot to mention that. I'll explain that. Um, I think that started happening because I didn't get like I said, I didn't get sciatica right away, but it started happening like, I want to say 6 months after, 5 or 6 months after the injury. That's when the sciatica started coming down my leg, my left leg, and my leg started going numb, and I couldn't feel my leg and like my pelvis and everything. So so 2020 October. So I'm just like, I told my boss, I said, look, I have to go home. I'm in pain. I said, look, I don't even know if I'll be back tomorrow or the next day or the rest of the month. I said, I'm in so much pain. I can't come back for a while. He was like, all right, well, just take a month off, and then um, if we don't hear back from you, then we'll go from there. But it's like, all right, cool. So that bought me a month to figure things out. So that's when I found out about the chiropractor. I was talking to people online. I was in chats a lot on YouTube and stuff like that, and I was like kind of freaking out because of the pain and everything was going on with the pandemic and everything before that, just period, just everything. So so I was talking to in chat, and I was really desperate, and I was looking for help. And Rose, like I said, Rose 777 told me to check out the chiropractor. She was like, yeah, they will help you out, this and that. And mind you, before that, the doctors had told me to go to the chiropractor, but they didn't make it a big deal. They didn't say, oh, that will help you, that'll fix you. They said it might help. They said, oh, you can check it out. They just brushed it off to the side, just said, oh, whatever. Um, so I didn't, and then plus from what I heard, before that, I heard that I didn't know much about it, but I just heard that it wasn't like, it's not like a real doctor's office, stuff like that. So I just didn't think about it. So then, when I was talking to Rose in October 2020, I was in bed, I couldn't work, couldn't do anything. I was running out of money, and I was talking, and I found out. She's just like, yeah, check it out. So I was like researching it, and I was like, all right, let me give it a shot. So that's what I did. I gave it a shot. I called them up. I called up the chiropractor, made an appointment. They said, well, they even said, on the phone that first time, they was like, yeah, we'll help you. Just come in, whatever. So the next week, I set up an appointment. Next week I went in. I was limping. I had my cane. I couldn't walk. Like I could barely walk. And then so this is a funny thing. You know what? Before I go any further, let me stop right there. Stop at the chiropractor. Let me share a picture. All right, so going back to all right, you can see it. Yeah. Going back to October 2019. Yeah, October 2019. This is the curb where I got hit at. I mean, where I fell at. As you can see, there's a huge puddle. The ground is broken up, cracked up. I don't know if you can see the mouse, but this is the sidewalk right here. This is the alleyway. This is the alleyway. Goes all the way back here. And then across this way, the other way, like across, is the sidewalk where I was walking. I was going from the bottom of the screen to the top, which is the other sidewalk is over here, and then the rest of the street is down there. And then like the sidewalk, and then the actual street for the cars is on the right side of this picture, but you can't see it. So I was walking and I saw this curb, but I didn't know that there was a crack down on the bottom of the curb on the alleyway. And so it goes deeper than, see, like this right here, this rock, it goes all the way out and it was flat and that was the ground. But this was broke. This is broken. This is below the ground. So I didn't see that. I didn't judge it. So when I went to step my left foot over this curb, it went straight, like right where those cigarettes are. And my foot made a perfect like 90-degree angle almost. And then right away it swelled up and I couldn't walk on it for like at least a few months. And still kind of hurts, when I'm laying down or whatever, or when I'm standing up. But let me see, there's another picture here, I think. Oh, so yeah, if you can see that. This is what I thought that was gonna be right here. This rock I thought was gonna be over here too. So that's why I didn't think the step was gonna be so deep. So I just took a regular step and I ended up going way further than what I thought. And kind of hurt my back a little bit too when I took that fall, but it was more of my foot that got hurt right there. So let me see, I have another picture here that I want to show. It's not easy. All right, I'm gonna show this picture right here. Give me a second. I wrote this maybe about a year ago or something like that, year and a half ago. So I'm just gonna show this. That's how I felt. The past 2 years taught me a lot between being disabled and the pandemic. I felt like I died because I was just watching life go by as I laid in my bed, couldn't move. Felt like I was in a coffin or coma, really, except I was awake. But it made me think, if one day I get back to normal, I know what I have to do. So, yeah, that's another thing I was gonna say too. Like this whole thing about with me hurting my back, I feel like it was basically a sign from God, pretty much. I can't see it any other way. Yeah, of course, like I did it. I had the accident, of course, but I feel like there's a deeper meaning behind it. It all like, has a bigger meaning to it. And I also have this picture I want to show. I don't know if you can see. So it says dysfunction, restoring dysfunction. Proper function is extension is shared equally between the hip and lower back while the pelvis rests in a neutral position. Exactly, which is what you're supposed to be like. But the way I felt was more like dysfunction, which was hip extension is absent due to extension is absent due to the hip flexors inability to disengage and the glutes inability to engage. That forces the pelvis to tilt and the lower back to make up how the hip can no longer move. So that's exactly what happened. My hip was up. My pelvis was tilted towards the back, and my hip couldn't move. And yeah, basically what it says here. That's exactly how I felt. The therapist even told me that a couple months ago, and my hip was like this from the time that I got hurt, which was November 2018, up until about May of this year, which is 3.5 years later. That's when my hip started to feel more proper and function better. That's because of the therapist, and I'll explain that more later of how that happened and what she did. Because thank God for that. Because I'm able to walk straight now. Like I don't have a limp anymore. Because of that, starting in like June of this year. So anyway, so I went to the chiropractor for the first time, had that appointment. I was nervous. Walked in, I was a little well, I don't know what the word is, but I was just like I was curious, I guess. And then so I was asking questions like well actually no, they first they do like an intake basically. So that's what they did. Was asking me a bunch of questions, what happened, this and that. Just everything, like a whole bunch of like a screening basically. So did that, then they took measurements, and then I don't know if it was the same day or the next day I went in, but right after that, like the second visit, they told me what the process was, and basically what I did or what they made me do was when I would come in, I would get on a table like a regular like a table bed, just like a skinny regular table that you can lay on. I don't know if I can put a picture up, but sorry, give me 1 second. I'm having some issue right now. Sorry, I'm just pulling up this picture here. So basically, I would just go on this table, like I mean, eventually I want to get the inversion table, but this is what they have, like this, they make you get on basically this right here. See what it is, exactly what it is. Hold up. Yeah. And then it just pulls the top half from the bottom half, table separates, and that's how that works. And that's good. It helps. But when I first went on, I was scared. I was like, look, I don't want that to break my back. Like I don't know what's going on. so I finally she got me to actually I think like the first time it was reversed, like because now when I go, like ever since I've been going, it's always the traction table, then I get off, then she flips me over on my stomach, and then she works on my back. But when I first went, she cracked my back first, and then I went on the traction table. But either way, she was getting ready to like crack my back, and I felt the pressure, and I was like scared. I was like, nah, I can't do this. I can't do this. You're gonna break it. And then finally, after like 10 minutes, she was like, look, I can't help you if you don't want to get this done. Like, just basically like it was all me. Like I was, it was my money that I had to spend and my time that I had to get there. So I was like, all right. Finally, I was like, all right, just do it. Let's get it over with. So she did it. She cracked my back, went on the table, got that done. I was like the most pain and sore that I've felt in my life, but it also felt good and it felt a little bit relief. So right away, I knew that it was helping and that it would help, and that there's a chance that it could get better. So that was October 2020. So I went the next week. I went, did the same thing. It was the same thing for like the whole month. It was like the same thing. I went like once or twice a week maybe, and I would get on the table, get my back stretched out. She would crack my back. I'll feel a little bit better. Go home, go to bed, in pain. Sore. Wake up, sore the next. I will be in sore. I will be sore for the full day after. But then the day after that, I will feel a little bit better. And then the day after that, I will probably have to go back to the chiropractor or whatever it was. I think, yeah, or I would just stay home, whatever. And I was pretty much in bed, all day, every day. I was in pain. So for the whole October 2020, stayed home in bed, went to the chiropractor. Then in November, I was feeling a little bit better enough to go back to work. So I called my job, I told them, it's like, look, I can come back, if you want, if you still let me, whatever. So I went back and was still in pain. Like I said, I'm still in pain every day. Still going to the chiropractor for every week. And then, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so the job. So when I went back to work in November, I was part time. I was just Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I was like in the morning. For some reason, I was able to get up better in the morning, go to work for a few hours, and then come home and then just be in bed for the rest of the day because of the pain I was in. So I did that, and we get rid of this. All right. Let me see. I think I have another picture here. Hold up. So yeah. So like I said. So then November, then December. Like I said, it was a little bit different. So I felt a little bit better, but still in a lot of pain. Still at work. I'm trying to think. When did I? Yeah. So basically, so that kept going on for the whole winter. Um, I was doing that just the weekends, couple hours, and then that was it. And then I would go, be home. And that was in the wintertime. So now it comes like springtime comes. So I think it's like around April, May, maybe even June 20 2021, and I get another job. I get another little part-time job because I kind of needed the money, and I figured I was going to transition from the job that I was doing, which was it was an auto parts store. Basically, that's what it was. That's the job that I was talking about this whole time. Anyway, was trying to transition from that to doing driving, like delivery driving pizza, because I figured that was a little bit easier on my back. I was in pain. I've been in pain sitting down, but it was better than like having to stand up and lift heavy things and just walk around. I was able to like drive for a little bit and get up, and then drive and then get up, whatever. But I was still in pain. So eventually, after like a week or two, like I said, they fired me because I just wasn't doing it right. I wasn't fast enough, I guess, because like I said, I was in pain. So so I went back to my old job, which was, I didn't quit there, but I was still working there. I think I forget when I quit though. I quit working. Let me find out real quick. Hold on, give me 1 second. I quit working the auto parts store for the second time uh, that I started working there since September 2020. I quit there and hold up. Let me just pull up the email here. All right, yeah, it was June 2021. I had quit. I had quit the auto job that I was working at. Almost the same thing like the year before. I had when I was working at Walmart. I had quit in June as well. So now it's 2021, June, summer. Still, going to chiropractor, taking walks every day. Let me try to think. Also, I started writing notes down every day in April of 2021. So that's when I started writing notes down. Yeah, and my spine felt crunched up, still feels crunched up. Can't bend down, can't lift, just so much pain for 2 years straight. Couldn't stand up for like more than like 10 minutes. My discs were bulged out for sure. I can feel it. I felt paralyzed. My legs would feel numb. When I would go to the chiropractor, she would crack my back. I wish I could record how loud the cracks were because they were like, and how many. It was like when I first started going from October all the way for like, I would say like a whole year, the cracks were like 10, 15, 20 in a row in my spine, like my neck, my spine. Like every week she would crack it and it was like loud cracks. Like I wish I had a cracking emoji sound or whatever. But it was like loud. And so anyway, so let me see what else I have here. Yeah, I have a ton of notes here. The cold would make my back worse. Yeah, sitting down hurts a lot. Let me see here. Yeah, I just have a bunch, like a whole page full of notes here. I had no balance. Like at one point, for like when I started going to the chiropractor, like when I would get up, I couldn't stand up straight. That's why I needed a cane. I feel like I was gonna fall over. But so let me skip forward a little bit because time. Let me show some pictures. Damn, I had some people here, now they left. Sorry about that. I gotta learn how to do this better. But so yeah, so I quit in June because my boss was like telling me to keep putting the mask on. I'm just like, and they kept telling me to do more and more things around the store, and I'm like, I told you about my back, I can't do it, and I felt like they was doing it on purpose for a reason to make me quit or to get fired, and which is what happened, and I'm not wrong because that's exactly what happened. They kept telling me, you got to do this, you got to do that. They kept leaving me by myself, knowing that I had a bad back. So yeah, and I called it discrimination, but couldn't really do much about it. I mean, I didn't really go after it because I was just dealing with so much. So let me see. So this was only last year, really. Yeah. So basically, I had moved into this room that I was in last year. I moved in, and like I said, I think in the first video, I moved in October 2020. So by June 2021, I had quit my job already. Like I quit my job again, fifth or sixth job already. my money. I had some savings, but it was all going to rent. Then by like July, actually June, couldn't pay rent because I didn't have any money. Um, July I didn't pay rent. August I didn't pay rent. So then the landlord took me to court. So, but mind you, we're going through this whole pandemic. I lost my job because of it. For whatever. Plus, I had my back injury that I'm dealing with this whole time. Mind you, the doctors, didn't want to help me. It was hard to see a doctor because of the pandemic. Like it was a mess. Like I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it that the fact that I was in so much pain, I couldn't get no help from nobody. I was just like shocked. And then mind you, when I went to the doctors in when I went to the ER after the first week, a few weeks that I got hurt, they told me that I would get better in 6 months. They said in 6 months you will heal. It's now almost 4 years later. I'm still not healed. So what does that tell you? Like um, when they took the MRIs, they told me that, and the doctors told me, oh, this you're fine. There's nothing wrong. Meanwhile, it says disc 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 were bulged out, muscular dystrophy, nerve compression. How is that normal, doc? How is that normal? Please tell me. Okay, so right there, I know something is up. So mind you, I can't be the only one with this. I can't be, and I've heard other people saying that they've had surgery and they've had back problems, but the doctors actually you know did something, even though it was probably made it worse or whatever the case is, or didn't actually fix them or heal them. They did something. For me, they did nothing. Like they gave me pills, which doesn't do anything, and I took them, but it doesn't help the pain at all. And that was it. And they told me to go home, that I wasn't in pain, or to go home, you'll be better in 6 months. I'm like, all right. So it's 4 years later. Anyway, um, what was I saying before? So yeah, so I was living in this room from October 2020, and by 2021, the summer, they was, the landlord was, on top, hounding me, saying, where's the rent? Where's the rent? I'm like, look, I'm injured. I can't work. I'm in pain. I have no money. My job fired me anyway. What I'm supposed to do? Plus, we're in a pandemic. So I tried to go for the, what is it? They had the programs that they was helping people to not get evicted, for that whole year. I applied for it. They didn't want to help me. They kept giving me problems. I was talking to them from the whole summer. So then finally in October, they went to court. They put an eviction, got me out. They literally came, knocked on my door, told me I had to leave, get all my stuff, and I'm just like, wow. I'm over here limping with a bad back, can't walk, and they telling me I gotta be homeless in the street. This was October last year. So I'm just like, you know, obviously I'm frustrated, I'm pissed, but I'm just like, you know, just thinking like of ways, what am I gonna do? So I got all my stuff, got a storage, put my stuff in the storage, was sleeping in my car for about a month, was in my car, had no money, couldn't go to the chiropractor, for like I was skipping a lot of weeks of going to the chiropractor because I didn't have any money and I got kicked out. And even the whole summer when I was living at home, I had no money. So I was like skipping weeks and weeks. And that's another reason why my back is taking so long to heal, because of the time spent of going to chiropractor. Also, the chiropractor and the physical therapy together helps. If I just do one or the other, it won't really help that much. So I had to do both. So I was a struggle to get to the chiropractor and then set up the physical therapy appointments. I would just have lapses in between. So I'm in the street. I'm homeless in October. Um, then finally, well, my mom um, and I'm moving back with my mom in November last year, and I've been here since. And then so let me see. So then October, November. So now, mind you, I have no money. November, I went to the hospital for like 3 weeks. I was in there for 3 weeks, and for mental health, like inpatient, literally inpatient, because I was just like going through a lot of stress and didn't know what to do. And that made my back worse. When I was in there, my back was like, I felt it getting worse every day. And I was stretching, I was doing everything. They was giving me pills, like everything that they could do, And it was a hospital, mind you, but it was the mental part. So they couldn't really focus on the back. But they were medical doctors, yeah, of course. But so I was, doing like taking as much as I can, because to get that pain away. And I was just in so much pain. But anyway, after a few months, a few weeks, I got out. Right away, like a week later, I went to the chiropractor because I knew that that was gonna help, and it was gonna take some of that pain away, and just continue to fix it more, because that's what it was doing until I went to the hospital. So went to the chiropractor, and right away was feeling a little bit better. So I was like, all right. Then in like December, I think, yeah, December, I got another job finally, like my last job that I had. This was just like a clothes store. Basically, they had me just like putting clothes away, stuff like that. I was putting shoes away, and so when I started there, I was in a lot of pain once again. But I did it because I didn't know what else to do. I had no money. I'm living at home with my mom, and she was telling me like, you know, you got to do something. So I'm just like, you know, all right. So did that, and I was in a lot of pain. Once again, was telling a few people, they was like, yeah, I'm sorry, blah blah. You know, um, they was like watching me like struggling. I'm just like this is crazy. Like how am I doing this right now? Because I couldn't even push like they had like these carts with clothes on it, and I couldn't even push it, and everybody else was just pushing it like nothing. So I'm just like, wow. So but I just did it because it was a job, and it was like, once again, it was part-time, so it was only on the weekends, for a few hours, and then that was it. um but I was in so much pain doing it, and that was over the winter too. So I was like putting patches on my back, putting creams and biofreeze, taking pills. I was doing all that, and the pain was wearing my back brace. And I was like I said, I was doing the shoes, like separating the shoes, and that shit, it was just killing my back, killing my back. So like after like a few weeks, I just quit. Quit like in January. Yeah, I quit in January. And basically, so that was it. So I just been home since, I've been going to chiropractor on and off a little bit when I have money. Um, I got money a few weeks ago sent to me from my father, and with that money, I was able to go to the chiropractor, and then that was it. Now I'm back to nothing basically. So like I said, that's why I've been having these lapses in between, and that's what's making it worse. And then, like I said, just this weekend, it really got worse. My disc just popped out again this weekend, and just threw everything back off again. So, like right now, I'm already an hour in, and my back hurts, and it's getting worse as the time is going by. But I'm just doing it. And like I said, I was resting up all weekend, so. But I'm getting ready to end this soon. Oh damn, I just missed it again. You guys just left. I was gonna show this picture. I was busy talking, so but I'm gonna show this picture now. So here we go. You can watch this later. Shout out to all my flat earth people. I love you guys. I wish I wish it didn't have to be this way, but apparently it is. So screen sharing. So this is my chiropractor. She actually worked on Elton John before. It's in the newspaper. It's my chiropractor right there. I guess that's Elton John. I don't know how he looks. So yeah, showed a little bit too much, but here it is again. The Eagles at the Sovereign Center. Uh, yeah. So this, my pretty much my chiropractor worked on him, and she also worked on. Oh, hold on, I want to stop sharing that because I'm still new at this. I don't know how to completely navigate this yet. Um, I already showed that. All right, here we go. So like, she also worked on Chicago. Apparently, it's a group band, old band that's been around for a while. She's worked on them, and she worked on Sting. She helped Sting before, so chiropractor is pretty cool. She's pretty good. She knows what she's doing, and that's why I feel confident with her and feel good. And it's been getting better, so I can't say anything bad about chiropractors, about her, anything like that. I can say bad things about the doctors in the hospital, in the medicine. Oh, sorry, I showed too much there. My back is really starting to creep up on me right now. So I'm gonna get ready to end this. I did about an hour, like I said. Um, so yeah, so basically, I'm in a position now. I can't, I'm not working. I can't work because I also applied for disability. It's a whole nother thing I'm not going to get into right now, but I'm waiting on to hear back from that. I don't think I'm gonna get it, so that's why I'm trying to figure out something else. And I'm doing these shows. Uh, Another reminder: I have a show coming up. Uh, Maybe this week. I'm not sure. I'm trying to get it done. I'm just going through a lot right now with my back and what happened this weekend. Just everything at home, stuff at home I'm dealing with. Um, but I got a show coming up. It's gonna have a guest. I don't know how we're gonna do it yet, but we're gonna have this show, and I think it's gonna be good um, about astrology, and yeah, we're gonna be talking about that. And then after that, I have another show I'm gonna do about. I'm gonna do a flat Earth show, and I'm gonna talk about. I'm just gonna break down everything about it. I have stuff written down, and I have like over like 10 or 20 proofs, maybe I want to say. And I'm just going to get into it, and I'm just going to break it down a lot. So that's going to be later this week, if not next week. Hopefully you guys will be there. So yeah, let me see if I have any other notes real quick. I'm in a lot of pain right now. I'm going to go lay down after this. Yeah, just want to shout out everybody, really. The whole flat earth community. A lot of people have been helping me out. I really appreciate it. Brian Staveley, Karen B, Austin Austin, a lot of people. Um, yeah, so that's that. So yeah, please support me. Leave a comment if you can. Yeah, I'll just post all my links down below. So if you want to help me out, you can. Appreciate it. You see if I can look for a song real quick. guess I'll play. Just play this. So yeah, I don't see nobody else in chat, so I'm just gonna end it. I hope I explained it good enough. I'm really bad at explaining things. I hope you guys understood me, and I hope it wasn't too bad. And I kind of want to make this my thing now because, like I said, I can't work. I don't want to work for, people who don't want to look into the proofs and the facts and the truth. They don't want to look into it. I'm going to talk about the Bible as well. That's going to be another show I want to get into. Mandela effects. Forgot about that. I'm going to get into that, of course. And I want to get into the pyramids and all the ancient technology and architect, because how did they build those pyramids so perfectly with little copper tools? Like, I don't get it. They tell us even with the drills we have today, can't cut the same perfect wall or brick the same as they did back then. So that's pretty wild. All right, I'm out of here. I'm gonna play a song. Appreciate you for coming by. Anybody watching this later, thank you. Remember, keep it flat. Don't let them tell you otherwise, because they will try to shut you down. They will try to laugh at you and all that, but whatever. I mean, I know the truth, so I'm not going to sit here and ignore it, number one. And then two, I'm not going to try and make the truth I'm not going to try to make clout out of it. I'm not going to do that either. So yeah.
I remember when I started school, I think I was 5 years old. The teacher pulled out a globe to teach us the earth's a globe. I believed what I was told, embracing my education. Didn't know that globes were only created for decoration, not for scholastic purposes that make people feel purposeless. We're living on level surfaces covered by the firmament. I remember how absurd it sounded when I first heard of it, but our God is fervent and his word is perfect and permanent. We're programmed when we're children, our minds are kept in a prison. This is the work of the devil, the evil plan of a villain. We're taught to accept how we're living in these hellish conditions, and every day we're unwittingly being hexed by magicians. By Satan's hand they are driven, they're strictly sent to dismantle the population. They won't stop till your soul is stripped from its vessel. They claim your life is an accident and you're really not special. Don't be afflicted by their fiction, come and get on my level. They say the world's a globe, but the evidence doesn't cut it. They just give us cartoon pictures and everyone seems to love it. But the earth's a level plane, whether or not you want it. Take a look and do your research, I bet that you can't debunk it. 23 billion bucks, that's a hell of a fucking budget, just to lie to everyone and successfully fool the public. If you wanna break away from your destiny as a puppet, research flat earth, but don't be upset when you can't debunk it. They clearly can't prove their theories. Come and get on my level. Something's fishy, these fools are shifty. Come and get on my level. They can't treat me, their lies are silly. Come and get on my level. It's a pity, they treat us shitty. Come and get on my level. Hurry quickly, we must get busy. Come and get on my level. Yeah, it's risky, but just stick with me. Come and get on my level. Can you hear me? Please don't be dreary. Come and get on my level. Don't be with me, you people really need to get on my level. ODD TV, I'm coming with the disruption. With all my flat earth homies on the Hitler production. Separate fiction from fact, we're gonna end the corruption. Letting people know the earth is flat, end of discussion. Dave Murphy is your teacher, boy. Class is in session. And Eddie Bravo's in this bitch to teach your asses a lesson. Tanner Stewart's in the house. He's gonna show you the ropes. He's gonna school you on how NASA's just a joke and a hoax. Let me introduce you to the rest of my posse. We got Johnny G and Papa and Santos Bonacci. We're at the core of the resistance and we'll never obey. And there's my brother from another mother, Eric Dubay. If he debates Neil deGrasse Tyson, he will rip off his head. I'll rap about it on a beat I made and rip it to shreds. If the earth's a globe, then how come they can't give an example? Their lives are flimsy, it's a pity. Come on, get on my level. They say the world's a globe, but the evidence doesn't cut it. They just give us cartoon pictures and everyone seems to love it. But the earth's a level plane, whether or not you want it. Take a look and do your research, I bet that you can't debunk it. 23 billion bucks, that's a hell of a fucking budget. Just to lie to everyone and successfully fool the public. If you wanna break away from your destiny as a puppet, then research flat earth, but don't be upset when you can't debunk it. They really can't prove their theories. Come and get on my level. Something's fishy, these fools are shifty. Come and get on my level. They can't trick me, their lies are silly. Come and get on my level. It's a pity, they treat us shitty. Come and get on my level. Hurry quickly, we must get busy. Come and get on my level. Yeah, it's risky, but just stick with me. Come and get on my level. Can you hear me? Please don't be dreary. Come and get on my level. Don't be whippy, you people really need to get on my level.
ODDTV.
Never sleep again.
Brutality. Flawless victory.
Hey, we're Strausser Nature's Helpers.
Do you currently